Thank you for spending some of your time with us here on Bold TV. I'm Justin Crawford. Let's get a check in with someone who can bring us some hard facts and share a little bit about his perspective from the newsroom since the COVID-19 pandemic all began. Right now, I want to bring in my dear friend, NBC4 New York's very own Stefan Holt. Stefan, thank you for being so gracious with your time, man, and jumping on for us to get a quick check in with you. But I first want to ask, how have things been with you and your family personally throughout all of this?
Just thankfully, we're doing well. My family's healthy and staying safe, staying inside like so many New Yorkers are during this time.
Yeah.
I got a chance to see my dad yesterday. He came into the building and he was wearing a mask and gloves. And it's interesting, I haven't been able to give him a hug or even a handshake
Wow. Yeah.
in several weeks, several months now. But look, we're all healthy. We're all doing well. We're doing the best we can to make each and every day special.
Sure.
And it's hard when we're indoors, when we're trying to figure out ways to keep ourselves entertained. I have two kids, a 2-year-old and 11-month-old, trying to keep them entertained. That's
Yeah.
another set of challenges right there. But all is going well. And I'm just thankful that being a journalist during this time, I'm able to be in the middle of this situation and try to find truth, try to find facts, and ask the tough questions when they need to be asked.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. And so I think that even as a reporter or news anchor, you certainly have a job that I think is a front line in and of itself, in different ways than, medical professionals, firefighters and such. But we look to you guys for the news. And so what's that been like, whether it was at home or in the studio, when you're having to grab facts that are just piling up on you guys and your team at News 4, what's the experience been like in terms of having to deliver all of that?
It's been especially tough for our team. Social distancing has meant a lot of our crews in the field are meeting purely in the field. They'll never come here to the newsroom or to the building. They have to take special precautions when they're interviewing people. They're
Yeah.
holding long sticks at the end of the microphone so that they can keep that 6 feet distance. They're wearing masks. They're wearing gloves. It's a challenge out there in the field, and there have been some people in this business that have gotten sick, that have gotten involved in this. I have colleagues that have lost loved ones and family members. So to think about those people who are having to talk about this situation day in and day
Mhm.
out, doing their job as a journalist, but also feeling the effects of this on a family level, on a personal level, it's very difficult and very tough. So my heart goes out to them. My heart also goes out to these medical professionals who are in the hospitals, who are in the ambulances, who are in the fire trucks and police cars, who are doing everything they can to stay ahead of this and not only keep New Yorkers and keep all of us safe, but keep themselves, their colleagues, and their families safe. It's a tough job.
Yeah, and you're right. I could only imagine too. I think something that we were just talking about this, but we as New Yorkers are now looking to you guys just for the simple facts and to kind of see where things could possibly go, or find the silver linings in the stories that you guys tell. But you guys are receiving news updates, and number updates from the governor and from the mayor almost every single day, if not more than once a day. So how are you guys able to kind of navigate through all of that to then give us a sense of what we need to know in the newscast at top line, instead of just all COVID and all numbers? How do you guys kind of crunch everything together?
Well, and you raise a good point. This is really a data-driven story. Every day we see the latest numbers of cases, the latest numbers of fatalities, the hospitalization rates, the ventilators that are being used. There's a lot of numbers involved, and it's easy to get lost in the complexity of the math and the statistics. But I think when we break it down on a simple level, let's remember that these are all people. These are human beings. These are lives. These are families that are being affected and impacted by this. And so when you really boil it down to that level, the human level, you realize that this is a huge deal. That there are a lot of people suffering and a lot of people that are being affected by this, whether it's from the medical pandemic standpoint or the economic standpoint, the people that have lost their jobs or lost their livelihood. It's really tough reporting on that every single day, because you realize that people are suffering and people are scared. They want to find the latest information. They want to find the facts. Look, that's what I try to do. When we do the news, we try to tell you what we know and what we don't know. We try to give you the facts that we have from the experts and from the officials that are tallying this information. it's hard to speculate right now because we really don't know what's going to come tomorrow. We don't know what's going to come 10 days, 15, 30 days from now. We're really taking this a day at a time. And sometimes it feels painfully slow because we won't get an update for another 24 hours. Some of these statistics are actually lagging the actual conditions, or frankly, we just had the antibody testing and we realized how many New Yorkers potentially had been infected with the coronavirus. And it was different than what was expected. And then we look at that information and what does that mean? What does that tell us?
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure this out, and we're taking it one day at a time. So I wish I had a crystal ball. I wish there was an expert that I could go to and say, hey, tell me, how long is this going to last? When can we reopen businesses? When can people stop getting sick and coming into the ICU? The fact of the matter is we just don't know.
Sure. No, and thank you for your honesty there too. I think a lot of times that's all people want right now is just a little bit of, sight over that hill that we're now climbing on. But I think it's, like you said, one day at a time. So I want to conclude, man, by asking you if there have been any good stories, any feel good, reporting that you've done to kind of see that there might be silver lining throughout all of this, and has kind of made you feel good to share with the rest of us.
I tell you, 7 o'clock is my favorite time now. Is just hearing those cheers and the round of applause and then the sing-alongs we've been doing. But I had a story that I did the other day about a gentleman in Queens in Long Island City. His name is Josh Landris. He's a craftsman. He designs and fixes instruments, mostly brass instruments, trumpets, trombones. And every night after that 7 o'clock clap, he goes out on his balcony in Long Island City and he plays taps. He's a Marine Corps veteran, and so he thought immediately of a way to pay respect to the people that we've lost in this pandemic. And he knew that that was a song that's played at military funerals all over the country. So every night he goes out on his balcony, and it's amazing to see the neighborhood hush and quiet after that applause, after that raucous cheer celebrating our heroes. There's this moment of reverence and respect to the lives that are no longer with us in the wake of this pandemic. And just to see one person, one New Yorker who's able to really lead that charge and everybody get involved with it. It's just one of the many reasons why I love this city, why I love this area, and why I think that this pandemic, as much as we can we could highlight the ways that it's bringing out the worst in people, I like to see how it's bringing out the best in people.
Sure. Stefan, thank you for sharing that. And I want to tell you, on behalf of the entire Bold TV community, we want to let you get back to work. So thank you for making this work while you're at work, and thank you for reporting the news to all of us who are in the city and anybody who receives it from the tri-state. So we appreciate you, everything you and the News 4 team are doing for us. And I'll certainly see you once I'm able to see you again, obviously.
Yeah.
So it was great.
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah, sure thing, man. Thank you so much again.
Thanks, Justin.